After nearly 7 years, I think I'm ready to go public on Twitter. The people yearn for what I have to say, and I've been keeping it to myself for far too long. However, there is one glaring issue. I have liked over 4,000 tweets over the years. That's not a whole lot, but the problem with that is I have no idea what 15-year-old me was liking back in 2018. I mean, I cringe at the stuff I liked last week. I can't imagine how cringe I was back when people were eating Tide Pods.
Ain't no fucking way, boy.
I thought to myself, there must be a setting on Twitter to delete all my likes or at least make them private. Viewer, be advised, no such setting exists. Alright, I guess I'll make a little program to undo the past 7 years. I'm sure the Twitter API has exactly what we need. Let's take a look at the docs. Twitter API v2, tweets, likes, perfect. Liking tweets is one of the core with endpoints. Tweets liked by a user, get liked tweets. That is exactly what we need. And I'm guessing there's also a delete. A delete method will enable you to unlike a tweet. That is perfect. That is exactly what we need. All right, let's get started. A what? All right, how much is this? $100. 5,000. Oh, there's a free account. But I have to submit a request. Yeah, I don't know about that. All right, so it looks like we have to do it manually. Not to worry, I have dabbled in creating social media bots back in the day. Before we start, let's get an idea of Twitter's limits. To prevent our little script from getting detected, we have to stay within Twitter's daily limits. They have graciously provided us with this list, which is probably very abstracted, but it doesn't say anything about liking and unliking tweets. I'll just assume it falls under the 2,400 post actions per day, which is broken up into smaller intervals. That's not very clear, so let's do something easier. Let's just help the script behave more humanly. More human, more humane, That means taking a random short amount of time to dislike each tweet rather than instantaneously. Perhaps we wait 2 to 3 seconds between each dislike and we take a short 30-second break after 50 consecutive dislikes. Alright, let's get started. Digging into the HTML, we gather some interesting information. Each tweet has test ID tweet. The author of that tweet has test ID username. And the unlike button has test ID unlike. Alright, if we console log document query selector data test ID tweet, we get the first tweet in our like list. And if we do the same thing but with a username, we get the first username in the list. And as you would expect, if we do it with unlike, we get the first unlike button in the list. Now if we take the unlike button again, but this time we do a .click, we can see that it unlikes the tweet. And if we do it again, but with test ID like this time, and we click it, we can see that it re-likes the tweet. Very cool. Now to get the actual name of the user, we do the query selector with test ID username, but then we grab the .text content, and then we split it at the @ symbol, and then this creates two separate items in our array before and after the @ symbol, and we grab the first element, which is the username. And if we grab the tweet again, and this time we do a .focus, we can see that the page jumps up to that element. This is useful for loading in more tweets. And lastly, if we do a .remove instead of .focus, the element is completely deleted. Wait a second, what's going on in Canada? Rotten hell, Saturn the end? Is Canada okay? Alright, that's basically the premise of the script, so let's get started. We're going to create an async function called unlike all tweets, and this will take in a limit. To keep track of how many tweets we've unliked, we're going to keep count equals 0, and while count is less than our limit, we keep going. So first, we grab the unlike button using the query selector with test ID unlike, and if no unlike button exists, we break out of the while loop. Otherwise, we focus the unlike button and then we click it. So by now we have unliked the tweet. Next up, we grab the actual tweet element using unlike button.closest, which grabs the parent with test ID tweet. And then to get the author, we go into tweet and we do a query selector with test ID username. And then we grab the text content and split it like we did before. Now we can console log that we have unliked tweet number count by author. Then we wait for 2 to 3 seconds, and once the while loop is finished, we console log done and how many tweets were unliked. To make the program wait for a few seconds, we'll create a function called wait that takes in count. Every batch of 50 unlikes, we wait 30,000 milliseconds, which is 30 seconds. Otherwise, we grab a random number between 0 to 1, multiply it by 1,000, and add 2,000. That gives us anywhere between 2 to 3 seconds. And we use this timeout to return a promise with a set timeout. And lastly, we just call this function unlike all tweets with limit 50. And we're done. To the untrained eye, suppose we do 5,000 instead of 50. At that point, we're going to be loading in 5,000 tweets into this Chrome tab, and this is just an educated guess, but I think the Chrome tab will catch on fire. To prevent that, I think we should just delete the tweet after we've unliked it. To do this, we can grab the tweet's wrapping element, which has test ID cell inner div. And then we just simply remove it. But let's put this behind a feature flag in case someone doesn't want them to be removed. Alright, moment of truth. Let's do a preliminary test with limit 50 and we will delete the tweets. $50 worked very well, so the next logical step up is 3,000.
Oh, baby, don't you go. Don't you leave me all alone.
Look at this, you don't have any likes yet. Amazing. Our script worked perfectly. Or did it? Why does the count still say 2,460 likes, but I can't see the tweets? I thought maybe I got suspended, I switched accounts, but the new account can't see the tweets either. So there are no tweets, but the count still says 2,000. Well, it turns out there is nothing we can do. These are tweets that have been since suspended, deleted, privated, or a plethora of other scenarios where we can't see them, but they still count towards the likes. Alas, it seems like the limitations of our script are just the limitations of Twitter itself. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I've put the script in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. Otherwise, have an amazing day, consider subscribing for more shenanigans in the future, and I'll see you in the next one.